Hello and welcome to this episode of Voices of Fostering. Today I'm delighted to be joined by one of our lovely foster carers, Hilary. Hello, Hilary.
Hello, hiya.
Hi, thank you so much for joining us today, Hilary. So tell us about your fostering journey. You foster with your husband, Pierre, don't you? Tell us about how your fostering journey began and what prompted you to do it.
It was a close family member whose partner hurt a child, and that sort of got us involved in fostering from the other side of it, from guardians and the police and all things like that. And it made us realise that there's so many children out there that need our help or need us to look after them. So 10 years later and 20 odd children later, we're still at it. And enjoying it.
Yeah, so 10 years, wow. And 20 children and young people have lived with you. So going right back to the beginning, right back to the beginning, can you remember what the assessment process was like?
Very therapeutic for me. It sort of took you right back to your childhood, and it was just unbelievable. Talking about everything that had happened through my childhood and that. And yeah, I found it very therapeutic and interesting, and it was brilliant.
Yeah, because a lot of people say, it can be quite intense. It can be maybe a little bit challenging at times, but it's definitely worth it because, as you say, it's quite therapeutic, isn't it?
Oh, gosh, yeah. It was very interesting. And the man that did it, he did like a history on our house, and it was, so in depth on everything. And with my husband being French, he did quite a lot on where he'd come from and things like that. So, yeah, it was a very interesting time.
And then after your assessment, the first child or young person who came to live with you, surely you remember that clearly. Can you tell us about that?
I do.
Yeah.
Because he's still in touch with us and he still comes for Christmas dinner.
Oh, wow.
That's over 8 years ago. He was the first lad. We had to wait 3 months before we got him. And I got a call late one night saying, could we take this young lad? But the thing was, I wanted little sweet toddlers, young children that I could do crafts with and all that lot. And since the first lad, we stick to teenagers. We are the last hope for all these teenagers.
Yeah, so you do take a lot of teenagers.
All of them are teenagers, yeah.
So how do you find that, Hilary?
Interesting. It has its ups, it has its downs. Like I said, over 20 children. Some of them have only stayed a couple of nights. Some of them have stayed a year or 8 months or something. And each child is different, and they all come with different problems. So you can't treat them all the same, but you have your baseline and you work off that. And I'm still in touch with quite a few of them who come and still visit or FaceTime or whatnot, and that's lovely.
Yeah, because one thing that we hear quite a lot, Hilary, is that people who are thinking about fostering, one of the things that worries them is having to give the child or the young person back, and that I could never give them up. How do you deal with that? Because a lot of the time, as you say, you do still keep in touch, don't you?
Yes. And some of the endings haven't been pleasant, but even so, they've still kept in touch afterwards, and they remember a lot of things that we've done together. And it is hard, but usually because foster carers are so much in demand, as one's gone, you've got a day, 2 days, and there's another child that they need you to take, so you sort of store that one and start on your fresh one.
So are there any particular children or young people that have lived with you who've really stuck out, like people that you'll never forget?
Most of them.
Yeah.
They were all individuals. I have, in my hallway, I have pictures of all the children, and I'm running out of picture places now to put them all. Yeah, they're all there. We had a young Muslim girl at the beginning of COVID, and because they were doing Eid, and she couldn't join in with her family or anything, so we did Eid. I didn't do the starving part, But we did the Eid with her. I cooked all these meals. And at the end, she still couldn't go back to visit her family. So we had a few of my neighbours round, and we did all the food that we cooked during the month, and we had a great big feast, and it was wonderful.
It sounds like you've had a really, really positive experience over the last 10 years, Hilary. But what challenges would you say there have been, and how have you overcome them?
There's been lots of challenging behaviour with all the children. They've all got things that, not right with them. But most of the children are not in foster care, are in the system through their fault. So you try and bond with each one differently. The girls that we've had, they love having their hair washed, dried and brushed, which is just a simple thing, but to them it means, quite a lot that you're spending just quality time with them. Video nights. We love our holidays. Two 15-year-old girls who'd never been abroad, and I took them to Mallorca with my mum. Last year we went to Euro Disney with the young lad, with my grandchildren. So I met Pierre's family over there as well. So it's very cultural for them as well. It's, everything. You can't change what's happened to these children, but you can try and give them some nice memories to take away some of the memories that have happened. And that's our aim. Yeah. And we're very relaxed with everything that goes on here.
You talked there, Hilary, about going on holiday. That's maybe something that prospective foster carers might wonder about. Can I still go on holidays? Am I allowed to take a foster child or young person on holiday? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, you get a letter off their social worker, give them permission to leave the country with them. And like I said, we've been to Poland, France, Mallorca, and somewhere else abroad. But we have our caravan in Anglesey, which is a tourer, but we've left. And my kids come, my neighbour, who's my best friend, she comes with her children and grandchildren, and it's just a big family thing. And the last young lad I had, he fetched his brother. He wasn't in foster care, but he came as well. And it's just a big natural, it's not clubhouses or anything, it's beaches, walks, and just natural things. And they remember the holidays.
Yeah, definitely. And what sort of support is there for you if you need any help, Hilary?
Supervising a social worker, you can get in touch with her all the time. And if she can't help you, she'll get somebody that can. There's other foster carers. We have a WhatsApp group, and we talk to each other and message each other. And we also get together once every couple of months and go for lunch, and it's paid for. And we all talk and natter, and there's so much, Plus you've got your own family circle who help, and the husband helps as well. When I let him.
And what sort of support do you get from the rest of your family as well?
100%.
Yeah.
When I first started, I had 3 grown-up children still at home. The last one's only just gone 4 weeks ago. She's travelling around Thailand and all around there. And she's had a good relationship with most of the kids, in fact, all of them. And then my 3 sons, they have. And then the grandchildren, the oldest grandchild's 14. And he got on brilliantly with all of them, and they all think the world of him. And then the younger ones as well. And then there's my sisters and brothers. At Christmas, they're all included and everything. So, it's just, they're all included in family life here.
Yeah, and it's like your sort of family network just gets bigger and bigger, doesn't it? That must feel really lovely.
Yeah. In fact, last week, one of the early girls I had who came from Essex, she came and visited. She stayed for 3 weeks a few years ago, and she was only here for about 8 months. But she rung up after she disappeared and then come back, and she wanted to come back and stay with me and that long. And she was close to my mum, but we'd done quite a few holidays, just the 3 of us. So it's just things like that they still come back to you. eventually.
And how long more do you imagine yourself doing this for, Hilary? 10 years under your belt now. Do you imagine doing it for years and years into the future?
Well, at the moment we're having a rest because the last young lad that we had went back to his parents and we said, we're going to take a couple of months off. And I've just moved my mum in to our house. So next couple of weeks, I'm going to take somebody else on. But I am getting a bit twitchy. I need a child.
And you said there, Hilary, that the last child that you had ended up going back to their birth parents. Is that right?
Yes. That's very unusual.
Yeah. How did that feel? That must have felt really special that they were able to go back to their birth parents.
We worked on it. It was with us 2.5 years. And we worked with the parents and we encouraged it. And it's just lovely. And he actually went in May, June, and he come on holiday for a week with us in August because he missed us.
Oh, amazing.
But no, he's messaging, and I think that is the best thing about fostering is if they still keep in touch with you.
And if there was anybody listening or watching, Hilary, who was thinking about becoming a foster carer, what would you say to them?
Take each day as it comes because no two are the same. Expect the unexpected because they continue to shock you to these children, and enjoy it. Get the help out there that's offered off your social workers and your family and your support system, and just enjoy it.
And would you say, Hilary, that it's changed yours and your husband's lives for the better?
Oh yeah. Well, it's definitely changed our lives. But 10 years ago, my youngest child was 17, and with a 3-year-old grandson as well. So yeah, it's unparalleled affecting your own kids up. Yeah, lots of rewards, and it's enjoyable.
Really rewarding.
Yes.
Well, it's been wonderful to chat to you, Hilary. Thank you so much for your time today.
Okay, thank you as well.
Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Voices of Fostering. If you'd like to get involved in the conversation, we would love to hear your questions. Maybe there's something you'd really like to ask about fostering. Get in touch. You can email us on podcast@nfa.co.uk.